Julian here again. Today we're going to talk about Entra ID Conditional Access. Conditional Access is an Entra ID premium feature that comes with the license SKU Entra ID P1. And that said, Microsoft Business Premium customers also has this feature. Well, Conditional Access is Microsoft's zero trust policy engine. It helps you align authentication throughout principles of zero trust by verifying explicitly, using least privileged, and also assuming breach. It can take signals from lots of different sources and take that into consideration and enforcing security policies. And please keep in mind that conditional access policies are not first line defense, as they are enforced after the first factor is authentication. Some of the common signals that are used is user and group memberships, network location information like IP addresses or geo like entire countries. Devices can be used, applications, real-time risk detection from Entra ID that identifies and remediates sign-ins and risky users. This feature actually requires Entra ID Premium P2, but also, yeah. What we can enforce with this is two options actually. So we can block access or we can grant access. And we can do a lot of requirements for granting as well. Some of the common policies that organization actually uses this for is multi-factor authentication for users with administrative roles, or requiring MFA for Azure management tasks. We can also block sign-ins for users attempting to use legacy authentication protocols, or we can do block risky sign-ins behaviors. We can also require organization-managed devices for specific applications or for all applications. So there's lots of things that you actually can do with conditional access here. But let's jump right into the Entra ID portal and create a conditional access policy together so you can see how easy you can get started with this. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to create a multi-factor authentication policy for all users within the company. So we'll start in the Entra ID portal. In entramicrosoft.com, from the front page, we go under Protection and Conditional Access. Here we can see that we have an overview and we have policies as well here. If you click down to policies, I don't have any policies in this environment right now, so we need to create one. And we can create one from either a new policy or we can do a new policy from a template. If you choose the template way, you can have a look at. We have lots of predefined templates that we actually can use. We also have the require multi-factor for authentication for all users here. We can use that one, or we can create our own. So let's try this by creating a policy from the template. So we choose this require multi-factor authentication for all users. Next, we can give it a name, require multi-factor authentication for all users. We can put the policy state either in off, on, or report only mode. And it's self-explainable. So on, it's of course on, and off, it's off, and report only, it will only, the policy will hit the user and check requirements, but it will not enforce any blocking or granting anything. So in this case, we put it on. We scroll down here under assignment, we see it goes on all users, and it also will exclude one user. The current users that are signed in will be excluded. You can change that later on. Further down to cloud apps or actions, we see that it hits all cloud applications, meaning that all the applications that are authenticating through Entra ID will be enforced by this policy. And then the last part, access control. Here it will grant access for the application by requiring multi-factor authentication. And we hit create. And that's it. We have our first policy. If you go into the policy now, we get into a regular new policy set. Here we can actually see all the users that we can add or exclude. My user is excluded. Targeted apps, all apps. We can also exclude apps here. We can also exclude apps here. If we select excluded cloud apps, you can search like Windows 365, and we can exclude the entire Windows 365 app. But That's not very smart. It can be done. We can also do network configuration where we can include all or any network location. We can exclude something. We can have like selected networks that are trusted by the company, all compliant network location and all trusted network locations. Further down, we have conditions. We can drill down to user risks, sign-in risks, insider risks, device platform, and so on. And down in the granting option, here is where we can actually block access or grant access, like I said earlier. So we can grant access here and require multi-factor authentication. We could also require authentication strength, which means that for some applications that you have, you maybe want to have like FIDO2 keys enforcement before that you authenticate with before you can access the application. We can require a device to be compliant, as I said earlier, hybrid joint devices, approved client apps, and so on. So, and that's it. That's how we actually create our first policy. So that was the first policy. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you want to see more content that I create, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I create new videos. Thanks for now. See you later.